Hello and welcome to Azariah's Studio. My name is Sarah. I am the artist and designer behind Azariah's Studio. I'm going to show you how to work in the ends of your rows when you're crocheting. If you would like to follow along, here are the instructions for the swatch that I'm holding. Alright, I am at the end of a single crochet row. I've just finished my last single crochet. I've not made any additional chains or anything like that. Some patterns will tell you to chain one and then start into working on the ends of your rows. Other patterns, if you're going to work all the way around it, this last row is actually the beginning of your round, and you will join to the very first single crochet in this row when you get up this last side. But I'm not here to worry about that right now. I'm just going to show you how to work in the ends of your rows. So these are single crochet rows, then these are double crochet rows. Like I said, I'm not going to chain one or anything. We're not going to work in the end of the row that we just did. There's a hole here and then a hole here. Single crochet rows are very easy to work into. Generally speaking, you want one single crochet per the end, or one stitch. It doesn't even have to be a single crochet. It could be a double crochet or anything else. You want one stitch in each end of a single crochet row. I'm not going to do this one. I'm just going to go into this one. I'm just going to do single crochets. So we have 8 single crochet rows. I skipped the first one. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then working into this row gets us into the beginning of the double crochet row. If I were down here, if I only had the 8, I would then be working into its chain at the bottom, because it's basically I've worked into the bottom of each of the rows type of situation. And see how that lays flat? It's even across the top here. I don't want it to be pulling in. I don't want it to be bumpy. I want it to lay even. If yours isn't laying even, your tension could be slightly off. It could be a little tight. It could be too loose. If it's too loose, you need to work fewer stitches, so maybe skip a single crochet row. If it's too tight, you might need to work an extra stitch here and there, so do 2 in the end of some of the rows, not all of them. All right, double crochet rows are trickier for a couple reasons. One, they're taller, so they're going to take 2 stitches, and then treble crochet rows would take 3 stitches, double treble crochet rows would take 4 stitches, and so on. Another reason double crochet rows are tricky is because they have a turning chain. This swatch has a chain 2 turning chain. I do not like chain 3 skipping the first, and I don't like the way that looks. You can see the blog post that I've dropped in the description for more explanation on that. So I've used the chain 2 turning space, so it's not quite as cut and dried. You're still going to do 2 in the end of every row, but each row is a little different. There's 2 different types of rows to work into. So this is a double crochet row. This is the top, actually, of my double crochet. You can see where I put the single crochet in there. So I'm just going to work into that, work my single crochet. Now, one of the mistakes people make is going in here and working all the way around the double crochet. That is going to create a really large hole. So don't do that. If you're only working the one round, you can get away with just grabbing one loop down here and make your single crochet Okay, but if you're going to be working more rounds after this, I recommend grabbing both of these loops here, and then it just leaves the one loop, but it will be sturdier. All right, we're on to the next row. Still gonna do the top of the double, but now I have a choice to make. Do I want to go in the space between the chain and the double? Do I want to go all the way down into the side of this double and grab those two loops, or even just one of them? How's that gonna look? So that's if I worked into the side of the double. I usually just go between the chain and the double. It makes a tiny hole, but by the time you get all the stitches done, all the way around, it all evens out. Top of the double, two loops on the side, top of the double, space between the chain and the double, all right, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I didn't end up with 8 here, only ended up with 6, so 8 and 6 is 14. I got 14, so we are good. So these are the remaining loops. Some of the older patterns, we'll call them the free loops of your foundation chain. All of these guys here. And I'm just going to work a single crochet in each of those so that I have the same number of single crochets that I did in each row. All right. Sometimes you will need to work a corner. So not just enough here and enough here, but there needs to be at least one extra, but sometimes 2 or 3 extra, depending on what the pattern is telling you to do. I personally like to work those into this chain loop here. So I would do 2 here, and then I would do 1 in the side of this double crochet. It's also a good time to weave in any loose ends that you come across as you're going. So I've done 1 in the side of the double. We're going to do the top of the double, between the chain and the double, top of the double, side of the double, top of the double, space between, and the top of the double. Had an extra guy down here. You can see it rounds the corner just a little bit more than this does. This is kind of abrupt. It's like almost 90-ish. This has a nice rounding to it. All right, back to the ends of the single crochet rows. And I'm just going to pick out the easy stuff, making sure that I get the number that I need. The things are laying flat. I don't have fans. I don't have pulling in. And this is not this last row, this is the next to last row. I'm just working in it. If I were working a corner, this is where I would work another one. So now I actually have 3 singles, this guy, and this guy in this same stitch. And then join with a slip stitch to the top of that first single crochet, or whatever stitch the pattern is having you do, and continue on. Some things will be finished, it's just a nice finished edge. Other things, this is just the beginning so that you can add on more and more. You can see that my gauge between my singles and my doubles is not quite the same because it got narrower up here. That is how you work in the ends of rows. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have more questions, you can always email me, Sarah@azariasfiberarts.com, or drop a comment below. Happy making!